Emily Carter sat quietly in the corner of the art room, her fingers stained with paint, her eyes fixed on the strokes she carefully placed on her canvas. It wasn't just art to her, it was her voice, her escape, her story. She glanced across the room where Daniel Brooks was laughing with a group of friends. He was the kind of boy who lit up a room without trying. Confident but gentle. Everyone seemed to love him. But he had never noticed her. Not once. Still, every day, Emily smiled when he walked in. Just a small smile. A silent wish. She smiled, hoping he would notice. "Emily, you have to talk to him," Grace whispered, leaning over the cafeteria table. Emily shook her head quickly, looking down at her untouched lunch. "I can't. He doesn't even know I exist." Grace rolled her eyes. "You say that every day, but you smile at him like he's your favorite sunset." Emily smiled shyly, her cheeks pink. "Because he is." Grace grinned. "That's it. I'm going to help you. Operation Make Daniel Notice Emily starts now." Emily panicked. "Please don't do anything crazy." "I won't," Grace said with a wink. "Well, not too crazy." The next day during art class, Mr. Thompson walked in with an announcement. "We're pairing up for the upcoming art showcase project. It's time to create something together." Emily's heart thudded in her chest when she heard what came next. Emily Carter and Daniel Brooks. Her paintbrush dropped. Daniel turned in surprise and smiled at her politely. "Hey, looks like we're partners." Emily could barely breathe. She nodded, forcing herself to meet his eyes. His voice was warm. "I've seen your paintings before. They're beautiful." Her heart fluttered. For the first time, he had noticed. They met in the art room after school to plan their project. Emily had trouble speaking at first. Her voice was soft, her words careful. Daniel noticed. "You're quiet," he said gently. She nodded. "I don't like loud." He smiled. "I get that. I'm loud on the outside, but inside, sometimes it's just noise." That surprised her. Over the next few days, they painted side by side. Their project was a split canvas, half his, half hers. Yet somehow, the colors flowed like one. She still didn't talk much, but she smiled. And he noticed. One afternoon, Daniel didn't show up. Emily waited alone in the art room. An hour passed. 2. Grace found her sitting quietly with her brush still in hand. "You okay?" she asked. Emily nodded, but her eyes were wet. The next day, Daniel came with a bruise near his eye. "Sorry I missed yesterday," he said. Emily didn't ask questions. She just softly said, "Are you okay?" Daniel hesitated, then whispered, "Sometimes home isn't easy." That day, she didn't just smile. She listened. And he told her everything. Over the weeks, Emily changed. She laughed a little more, talked a little more, and smiled a lot more. People began to notice her. Not just Daniel. Even Sophia Bennett, who used to tease her, now watched her with confusion. "She's not invisible anymore," Sophia muttered to her friend. Grace beamed when she heard. That's because she was never invisible. People just didn't open their eyes. And Daniel? He didn't just notice her smile anymore. He looked forward to it. The art showcase was crowded. Students, teachers, and parents filled the hall. Daniel and Emily stood beside their piece, a breathtaking painting that showed two sides of a heart, stitched together by color and courage. Mr. Thompson was emotional. "This is more than art. This is truth." Daniel turned to Emily. "Thank you for letting me in." She looked at him, her eyes full of something soft and strong. "Thank you for seeing me." In the middle of the crowd, Daniel gently took her hand. And for the first time, she smiled, knowing he finally noticed. After the showcase, the school hosted a small celebration in the courtyard. Fairy lights hung between trees. Soft music played. Emily sat on a bench, looking up at the stars. Daniel joined her quietly. "This night feels like a dream," she said softly. He smiled. "Maybe we're both dreaming." She looked at him and asked, "Do you still feel the noise inside?" Daniel paused. "Not when I'm with you." The wind brushed gently past them. Her heart was full but afraid. "Still," she whispered, "I've liked you since the first day of school." Daniel turned to her. His voice was calm. "I know." She blinked. "You knew?" "I didn't understand it at first. But your smile, it said more than words ever could." Then, without warning, he added, "I like you too." Emily froze. He noticed. For a week, everything felt perfect. Daniel waited for her in the mornings, walked her to class, stayed beside her during lunch. She painted more than ever, each piece brighter than the last. But then, he started pulling away. No messages. No art sessions. No lunch together. Emily's heart began to ache. The smile she wore slowly faded again. Grace noticed. He hasn't said anything? Emily shook her head. Nothing. Grace sighed. Then go ask him. You deserve to know. Emily found Daniel in the library, sitting alone, staring at his phone. She sat across from him without saying a word. He looked up, surprised. Hey. You disappeared, she said quietly. Daniel ran a hand through his hair. I didn't mean to. I just got overwhelmed. With what? He hesitated. My dad. He's drinking again. It's bad. Her expression softened. I didn't want you to see me like that, he added. Why not? Because you're light, he whispered. And I'm afraid I'll drag you into my darkness. Emily reached across the table and took his hand. Then we'll share both.